Good evening. Good evening. I call to order the meeting of the Design Review Board. Today's date is Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Matt, would you like to do roll call?
Yep. Rashid,
Present.
Stiniker,
Present.
Salzer,
Here.
Hoff,
Here.
Tibbet,
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Martin,
Here.
and then Inskeep is excused.
All right. Consideration of the March 22nd, 2023 meeting minutes. Are there any changes or corrections from the board? Is there a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor say yes.
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 All opposed say no. All right, motion passes. No old business. New business, case DR 2309, request for design review, CB Village of East Davenport Zoning District, site improvements at 1117 Mound Street, Streamline Architects, petitioner on behalf of Kelsey Sieberts.
All right, so this is a familiar project that's been going on for the past year. So this is 1117 Mound Street, which is now Kelso's Corner Bar. So located on Mound Street, just north of the alley, consists of the original historic building as well as the vacant lot directly to the north. So just a little bit of project history. So in July of last year, the petitioner came with the concept plan for an outdoor patio and bar design, which was approved by the board. The following month, they did some modifications, changed the material of the roof, as well as the siding and some of the color elements. And then most recently, in February of this month, or I'm sorry, of this year, they did some additional modifications, one being to the exterior staircase design off the alley. And then they moved some of those outdoor bar features abutting the structure rather than out in that vacant open space. So now today's proposal deals with that green vacant lot just to the north, which is part of this bar and restaurant. So the proposal, the original one that came last year had a food truck pad just off of the alley. So that's been relocated to be just north of the bar. So they're pouring a new driveway and concrete pad for the food truck to be placed there. They're also building a gazebo, a 9-foot by 9-foot gazebo for outdoor entertainment elements, as well as a seating area with permeable pavers. And then they would fence in the outdoor patio area with a black ornamental fence to match that one that's in front of the building. So here's a view from Mound Street that you might see. So you got the food truck out there, and then your outdoor seating and patio area. They are doing like a vegetated feature on the fence. So there's a view if you were to be sitting underneath one of those trellises, looking out at the gazebo. The gazebo would be built with similar materials as the main building, so same roof and siding type materials. So this is an example of the fence, and then the greenery needs a media to latch onto and to grow off of. So they would place this feature on the fence so that way that those vines have something to grow from. So staff is recommending approval subject to the conditions, really just kind of pertaining to that greenery because you want it to be high quality and to have a good appearance year round. So first condition being that the greenery mesh that supports the vegetation be black to blend in with the fence. And then the second condition is that the method used to affix the greenery mesh to the fence blend in with the fence itself so it doesn't stick out.
I have a quick question. Would we consider that, but using like a faux greenery like they'll use on, I know that in the original design, I think there was one as like a backdrop for like a selfie wall or whatever, but some faux greenery so you don't have to worry about it dying, getting brown, maintenance of it, but it act as that privacy barrier still?
Yes, I don't know, Craig, do you want to address that?
Yeah, so it was talked
Would you
about,
mind?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
And if there's anything else you want to add to Matt's.
Sure, yeah. It was talked about a little bit as to whether or not we do faux greenery or not. Really, I mean, it was trying to make sure we maintain enough quality to actually have that maintained. I mean, if it was the middle of the winter and that was still bright green, it's gonna look a little tacky and kind of weird. So the idea is we wanted to make sure to keep it fresh and keep it vegetated. The biggest thing is really trying to make sure we have that privacy from the adjacent neighbors. Street side is less of a concern, it's really more so the adjacent neighbors that are kind of voicing some concerns and want to make sure we get that privacy for that setting.
So do you have the plant figured out yet? Is it gonna be,
No, so we're kind of going through between ivy, so there's like the Boston ivy, there's a couple other just vines, I've got them, but they were written down before, sorry. But we haven't kind of figured out as to which one we would use for it.
Will there be more seating than what was pictured?
Currently,
that, yeah, for that greenery
Yeah.
space.
Currently, no. I mean, they're really trying to kind of feel it out. I think it'd be mostly more like a mingling space, if anything. So, kind of providing the permeable pavers gives you the ability to have different arrangements and have people standing a little more and still have the perviousness of, rainwater without getting swampy.
I had one more question about the greenery. Are you gonna put planter boxes under there or just plant the greenery in the ground and hope it comes up? Or how are you, what's the plan there for the greenery?
That has yet to be determined.
Okay.
But I think really it was really depending on which plant we choose as to who does the work, whether or not that's better held in a pot so it can then have that and then maybe eventually plant it to make sure it gets a good growth out of it first.
Yeah, you'll have to, I know I've got some ivy growing and it likes to go on the ground rather than up, but I know there's ivy that likes to go up too, so.
Yeah, and that was part of what, as we were talking to the different fence contractors, and they were recommending that, a lot of the vines that they've seen in the plants, they really don't like growing up as much, the wrought iron, or just that steel fence, so adding that mesh gives it something to grab onto, and it's more likely to climb than to go lateral.
But looking at it there, it's like, what's it gonna be planted in? There will be dirt under,
Yeah, so essentially along each side, would be a small planter would have to be dug into the
Something
ground on
there,
each
yeah.
side.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve with staff recommendations.
Matt, you want to do a roll call?
Hoff?
I'm not sure. I guess I wanna see how that planting is gonna be done, so I don't know, do I say no then? Or do I say yes, but with conditions, or?
So you either can make an amendment to the motion, or you could vote no, and if it fails, then you guys can redo another motion. So if it's a yes with, so are you just looking to make sure that they have good growth media under,
Just trying to figure out how the planting is going to go up the fence, yeah.
so it'd be more like tabling to see the planting plan?
Yes, that's what I would like to do.
Okay. So I would suggest, and unless Matt wants to rescind his motion, I would vote no for right now.
I'll vote no then.
I say I can rescind my motion. I'm okay with that.
Am I the only one that's concerned about that, or?
No, so I was actually going to so, great. I like the fencing is great, the chicken wire, whatever you use for the vine. And I understand the look of a healthy vegetative thing there in the dead of winter, and I totally get that, and wondering if there are so many options to faux plants and vines and things like that now that you can have some different tones to kind of blend it, or you could, in the winter, they could dress it up, whatever, but I think to avoid planters or it not growing the way they want it to, or just the maintenance of it, vines can be chaotic. Maybe tabling the privacy vines and coming back with a few other options maybe for a privacy piece
Okay,
there.
so
One of the things I was thinking of are ornamental grasses, because they
Or
look good
arborvitae.
year-round. But
So, yeah, there's some low-maintenance evergreen that's not vine-related that might work. So if that's the general direction, whoever would like that, you guys seem like you might be okay with the fence, you can approve the fence with, and fence and gazebo and permeable pavers, and then table the greenery mesh. And until there's a little bit more information for you to have related to the vegetation.
I move to do exactly what you just said.
Okay.
I second.
And I do like the idea of those arborvitaes, because those provide a lot of privacy, they look good in winter and in summer, and I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. So in that case, the revised motion is to approve the project, but table the greenery mesh. Okay. So with that, I'll say Anderson. Martin?
Yes.
Rashid?
Yes.
Stiniker?
Yes.
Salzer?
Yes.
Hawk?
Yes.
Tibbet? Yes. Okay, motion passes.
Great. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Thanks for the review.
Hope I'm not being too picky.
No, I think it's good. It's good input. It's always good to have. Having more of a consensus is always helpful.
I will say, I've been really excited for this project since it was first presented, so that's like right in my hood, so.
Is there any general discussion?
We will have a new commissioner appointed next week, so they should be in attendance then for the May 22nd meeting, so.
Do we have any more openings?
That will fill our board, so that's good news. Yep.
Any public comment? Going with no. Is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. All right, see everybody in May.